I just want to start out by saying thanks to our fans today. I thought the environment for the game was absolutely spectacular. You could feel the excitement. It was different than our other home games this year, although the same crowd we had a sellout all year long. But this one felt different in the sense that I think all the fans knew how important this game was and how big it was. And they were trying their best to help us in this game. It was so neat to see that. It was great. And I think it did make a difference for our team today. So we just appreciate the support we've had all year, and especially the great effort that the fans gave us today. Good job.
You aspire to go 6-0, and you've done it, so it's got to feel.
It was exciting, and every young man that was up here interviewing today kept talking about one game at a time, and that's still how we're approaching things. But that's how we got to 6-0. That's how we got to where we are today, is because this team was able to focus on the task at hand. Tuesday's practice, Wednesday's practice each week, Thursday the preparation for the game, without thinking about the big picture, without thinking about playoffs or 6-0 or undefeated or anything else except one goal, which is win that game that's coming up. And by doing that, by embracing that, that's why we were successful.
Such a different game for this team, that kind of a knockdown, drag-out battle, and you guys won it. I mean, what does it say to your team that you can win all sorts of games?
I think it's exciting to see that we can. I really felt that our defense played like we're used to here in this game. I was very excited to see that today. They played with great discipline. We filled every gap. We noticed in the run game that occasionally Weber would get situations where not every gap was defended and they would have big runs, and we said, hey, we're going to be in every gap and we're going to play hard on top of that. And I think that was a combination. Our defensive staff did an excellent job of getting our guys in the right places. The guys did a great job of executing that game plan and being in the right places. And then you still have to play hard, which we did too, but it was nice to get that going so we could survive a lesser game on offense. Our defense allowed us to win this game by keeping us in the game, keeping Weber State out of the end zone.
Ron, is this really just another game? You've got the 8 wins, you're tied for the Big Sky Conference lead with 1 game to play. Is this just another game?
No, I didn't say it was just another game. I just said it was the next game. We're not thinking about anything past it. So all week we knew it was a big game. Everybody on our team knew it was a big game. We knew that we couldn't win the championship or control our own destiny if we didn't win this game. And so it was a huge game. We all knew that. Every player, all week, I could sense a better electricity, a better energy level, better focus on the part of our team throughout the week, because we're getting so close to the end of the line and where we kind of want to get to in our season. So it was a huge game, but the focus was just on this game. That's the only point I've tried to make.
A lot of clutch plays coming from your team right now, with the McGee completion for the touchdown, the Fiorenzo runs, the big McGee completion off his own goal line. What are making those plays possible?
I think the guys have a lot of confidence in themselves, and that they're going to be successful, that we're going to win each game. I think that confidence is huge. I also think there's a sense among all these guys on the team that they don't want to let anybody else on this team down. I've said that a lot throughout the course of the season. I really believe that. Every guy wants to go make a play because everybody else on the team is playing so hard, and they want that guy to be rewarded. So it's not about me going to make a play for me. It's about me going to make a play for all my teammates. Something about that takes the pressure off of me and just makes it a team effort, and the guys are going to make plays because they want to do it for someone else.
Specifically, defensively, what did you do differently to step the run, slide right or the line of scrimmage a lot more often?
Well, I thought Jamie Marshall had a fantastic game plan today because we just played base defense. We blitzed very seldom in this game. We just lined up and played basically 1 or 2 fronts and a couple simple coverages, and everybody just played fast, and we were gap sound, and we flowed to the ball. And that's what we did. It wasn't magic. It was just sound, fundamental defense.
Can you talk about the fourth quarter kind of in general? You guys made no turnovers in the fourth quarter. You had 3.
That was a plus.
Yeah, up to 21 fourth quarter points. So is there any feel about the fourth quarter that you noticed or anything about it?
No, throughout the course of the game, we felt like we were moving the ball fairly well on offense. I felt that we could, at halftime, we should have probably had 17 or 20 points, but we had put the ball on the ground. And I think in the fourth quarter, we finally hung on to it, and we were able to put points on the board. It's also tremendously gratifying for everybody on our team, both sides of the ball, when you can run the football in the fourth quarter when the other team has to stop you. We did that twice. Lorenzo had a huge individual play on the first one, and everybody else on the team had a huge individual play on the second one because he had a huge hole to run through for the clinching touchdown at the very end. But that's key to being successful, is being able to run in the fourth quarter. We were able to do that.
You've won 3 straight games now, losing So what does
Yeah,
that
let's
say?
not keep that going.
Well, you've been able to win all three, so that's got to say something about this team.
I think I've said it all along. I think this team is special in terms of their character that they have and the determination to overcome all odds. So when the offense put it on the ground, then the defense comes up with a goal line stand. I don't know the exact sequence, but that's just kind of how it feels. If they did that, then we got to raise our level, and then if they score, then we have to go down and score. And each side of the ball is able to answer, any miscues on the other side. That's what's been happening. Defense got the ball away from Weber a couple times. That's a good way to neutralize any problems that we have with ball security ourselves. It's just an amazing thing to watch for me. We've tried to culture it, we tried to create it, but this group of guys actually has taken over with the idea that we've got to play for each other and we've got to respond to every situation that happens and never give it up.
Coach, how are you going to handle the bye week? How's the schedule going to work?
They'll have tomorrow. They just have to go to the training room, and the red shirts will lift. And everybody on the team will have Monday and Tuesday off, and my coaches will have to work. So no time off for us. We're going to work on recruiting. We're going to work on watching the film of our next opponent, and then we'll practice on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there's a twofold mission in this week. One is to get our feet back under us, get physically rejuvenated. That's the player side. Extra time for preparation on the coach's side, and then 3 good practices so that we can kind of stay sharp as we get into it. And then next week will just be a regular week.
And you guys have you've had one experience at Missoula playing there. Maybe just some quick thoughts about the matchup this year and what you think it's going to take.
I think it'll be tremendously exciting, but I have no idea because honestly, my 100% commitment was to Weber prior to right now. So I'm going to, in fact, I probably won't even think about it until tomorrow. Then we'll start looking at them. And we've seen them across the board. I know they're a great team, and the environment there is fabulous, and it's going to be a fantastic football game. That's all I can tell you.
Coach, the go-ahead touchdown when Denarius threw Tanner in the end zone, what did you call on that?
That was Brian Wright's call. It was an excellent call. We had been showing the play where Everett Gilbert comes into the backfield, and then we hand it off to him on a sweep outside. So we set him in the backfield and faked that same sweep, booted back the other way on play action. And we had Lorenzo in the flat, and then we had Leskin coming across. And I think the eyeballs, just enough eyeballs went to Everett on the fake sweep to give Leskin a little bit of a head start to win on the route, on the crossing route.
How much did Dan Ogden earn the right to come in here and talk about his day-to-day?
Oh, Dan Ogden's been fantastic. And, he's always had the ability to make plays, far beyond his his stature and his physical appearance. He's just been a playmaker ever since he first arrived here. He ran for a touchdown in about his second game or the first game of his career. And he's a playmaker, and he's very proud and very talented, and he's the leader of that defensive line, and he's proud of his defensive line and his teammates. And they do deserve all the accolades we can give them. They were sensational last week. I thought they were sensational again this week. And Coach Beck and those guys have really come a long way. So they definitely deserve it.
They're the key to this win. I mean, Weber State's offensive line was so good.
Yeah, I think they last week, there was some question about the matchup. How good was Idaho State's line? There's still some doubters, I think, but this week should eliminate any doubt that defensive line has gotten better every week, and now we're at the position where we can compete against a very good offensive line, which we did today.
Coach, those two things, being able to run the ball in the fourth quarter, being able to play base defense and shut down opposing offenses, what sort of confidence does it give the staff and the players? Are those hallmarks of a championship?
You have to be able to do that. If you have to gamble to stop people, then you're going to give up big plays. Today I thought our defense was sensational in base plays, and we still have to run the ball better, though. We did it well at the end, but we still would like to run the ball more effectively during the course of the first part of the game. So that's something we have to continue to look at.
Rob, 8-2, is this a playoff team right now?
Oh, I don't know. I hope so. I think we should be, I guess, but again, we're not thinking about the playoffs. We've got a very important game to prepare for and a very important goal, which is to win the conference, and that's going to take our undivided attention right now.
So without a game next week, you don't say that it's going to even a little bit longer, or?
I might. I'll be in tomorrow, though. I'll be watching the tape tomorrow and then moving on, and that's how that goes. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you. Mike Person, what's he make here?
Mike Person's been sensational. He's one of the best leaders that I've ever coached. He and Mike Ryder have been a fabulous team of captains for us. And I think Bill Lambert wrote it the best on a little bio about Mike Ryder, or about Mike Person today for the senior tribute. He has a searing will to win. And that kind of describes it. He's intense and passionate about his desire to win in his final season. And he's a guy that you just take a look at him, you know, I want to do this for him. Mike's working so hard. Everybody else on the team feels like they have to do the same thing to not let Mike down.